District 3310, Regional Rotary Public Image Coordinator for Zones 10B and 10C, no other than past District Governor Andre Suarto. Take it away, classmate.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, classmate Jojo. And it's nice to have you with us. And thank you for that kind introduction. What a pleasant afternoon for me to be able to meet up with you. Although it is virtually, very much I would have loved to meet you and all my classmates in person. Unfortunately, the pandemic has prevented us from doing this. A very good afternoon to District Governor-elect Gina, the convener, District Trainer Pepe Esteves, Deputy District Trainer and ARRFC Paeng Tantucho, Public Image Coordinator for Zone 10A, Ray Castillo, whom I have met several times, and obviously incoming club presidents and as well as incoming district officers. What a pleasant afternoon for me to be here, and thank you so much for the kind invitation extended to me. Having heard IPDG Tony P talking about strong clubs, and I think one of the components that we need to focus on is actually to help you to achieve that by emphasizing on your public image efforts. And what I would like to do is to let me just share the slide and go with you a number of things that I would like to share. What I will do is I have a couple of slides over here, but there will be quiz later on that we can interact, and I would like this session to be as interactive as possible. And the session topic is about consistency being key in building and nurturing Rotary brand. In building the Rotary brand or any other brand, it will take a long time. It is not an overnight effort for all of us to build the brand. Let me start by inviting every one of you to a Rotary event. You have arrived at the foyer of this particular building and you saw this particular logo of the Rotary Club who is going to launch a project. And as we entered the lift, we saw another signage of the club. And as we arrived at the actual plenary hall, we saw the backdrop in the ballroom, this particular logo. And when the session was over, and that was about the launching of the Give Offside project, this was what was shown to us. How many logos have you seen since you arrived at the event? Send it and type it on the Zoom chat box. Can you recall how many? Okay, some of you say 5. Some say 6, 2, 4. Okay, now I'm not going to wait for everybody to respond, but look at my next slide. Okay, there were actually four logos. Now, obviously, what I have shown with you just now, it's an exaggeration, but it is not impossible. And there were cases in the past where this situation actually arises. As Rotarians, when we attend an event like this with the different logos of the same club that was actually hosting the event, we all know that it is the same entity and that this club belongs to Rotary International. But the situation may not be the same with members of the public, and as well as others who are not Rotarian, including students and so forth, who are being invited as part of the audiences. Now, you can see from that example that being consistent is very, very important because it is a component of brand management. And if we do not look into this aspect, we may confuse the audiences. And these audiences could be your potential donors, could be your potential members, could be your potential volunteers. Let me take you to this story about Coca-Cola in 2011. As you all know, the Coca-Cola can is very, very well known for its red colored can and that particular fonts of the word Coca-Cola on the left of the screen that I'm showing it to you right now. In 2011, they decided to change the can from red to white with the silvery polar bear to raise awareness and promote the protection of the Arctic habitats. Guess what happened? There was a backlash from retailers because it created confusion. It created confusion with the Diet Coke packaging. It was pulled from the market after a few weeks. So it was actually an expensive lesson. Therefore, what I'm trying to share with you over here is that a message that says that inconsistency may be interpreted by the members of the public as a lack of high ethical standards and professionalism by Rotarian. We as Rotarians are known as people with high standards, high ethical standards and professionalism in all our professions. So let me take you back to 1905, a little bit of history, where Rotary was formed by this particular gentleman called Paul Harris with 3 of his friends. And I think a lot of you already know about this. And just to emphasize again, when Rotary was set up, the foundation in which it was set up was actually built upon friendship and nothing else. So that's why, because of friendship, Rotary was formed. But the 4 gentlemen found out that they could do better for the community, something useful out of that friendship. And that's when the projects come into Rotary. But it was not until 1922, during the Los Angeles Convention, that Rotary became as Rotary International. And the object of Rotary was adopted as part of the standard constitution of each Rotary Club. Now, you will see on the right the contents of the object of Rotary. I think a number of you should be familiar with it. What I would like to draw upon is your attention on item number 2, that says high ethical standards in business and professions. That is what we are. And that leads to the formation or the introduction of the 4-way test 8 years after Rotary was called Rotary International by Herbert J. Taylor. In 1930, he was with a company that experienced Great Depressions and the company was having financial problems. And he wanted to set aside the company and to make it different from his competitor. And he kept on thinking about what could differentiate his company from the rest of the competitor. And he came out with the 100 words and 7 parts, which they call it 7-way test, and subsequently reduced it to 25 words and 4 parts, which is now called the 4-way test. And it was used as the ethical guiding principle for him and his staff that eventually made a difference between his company and the rest of the competitors and came out of that bankruptcy situation. Today, as Rotarian, we embrace the 4-way test. And this Herbert J. Taylor was the RI president in 1954 and 1955, and it was in the same year that he gave the copyright of the 4-way test to RI. Now, with the 4-way test, and as a guiding principle with the object of Rotary, we develop, we evolve, and we found out that as Rotarians, we like to build long life relationship. We like to honor our commitments because we are people of high integrity and ethics. And we like to connect diverse perspective through international understanding. Look at these Zoom sessions. This pandemic, we have made, I'm not too sure about you, but I definitely have made more friends than any other year before the pandemic. Service and leadership. Through our vocational service, through our vocations, we apply our leadership and expertise to serve social issues. These are our core values in Rotary. But you know what? It was not until 2007 that Rotary actually explicitly announced the 5 core values for the very first time. Prior to that, it was only implied in its various guiding principles. So with the 4-PETS as an object of Rotary as our guiding principles, over time, we actually developed traits that are unique to us as Rotarians. And over the years, it became a culture. And whether you know it or not, we developed these 5 core values as Rotarians: leadership, service, diversity, integrity, and fellowship. These are our assets that is at the back of our brand, Rotary. Now, obviously, the word Rotary and the wheel that you see right now is the latest logo of our brand. But that was not how we started off initially. I gave you some example because we have evolved. After 116 years, we have evolved. And this is the latest logo that we have. But that was not how we look like as a brand when we were set up in 1905. Take as an example, Starbucks and BMW. Their logos have evolved over the years. Pepsi-Cola, also the same. Look at Coca-Cola. They have also evolved. And these are big brands. So if the logo of the big brands can evolve to reflect progress, why can't Rotary? Well, we too evolve because we progress. And these are actually the logos of Rotary from 1905 until where we are today. So the question is, if the logo of Rotary International can evolve, why can't the legacy logo of Rotary clubs evolve too? A lot of clubs, including my clubs, at one time used to have our own legacy logo that signify certain things, monuments, buildings, or something unique that is synonymous with the location where the club actually meets. This is an example. You and me will know that these logos belong to Rotary clubs, and they are all members of Rotary International, but not necessarily members of the public having the same opinion as us when they see these logos. As an example, have a look at the Rotary wheel. Those wheels are different from one another. So if I am a member of the public who is not a Rotarian, I see that these are inconsistencies, and I may ask myself the question, are these the same as Rotary International? Or are these the same as that particular club whom I had the opportunity to participate in the club project, or I had the opportunity to be a donor? These could be questions that members of the public may actually raise and stand up to us, fellow Rotarians. Now, coming back to the story of Coca-Cola, today, Coca-Cola have what they call it a unified brand architecture. Because today, Coca-Cola no longer produces one product. They produces more than one product. And it is distinguished by the different coloring at the top of the can. Now, this white colored Coca-Cola can is synonymous with the Rotary Club logo, the Legacy Club logo. And if I were to take the unified brand architecture of Coca-Cola, the red portion of the can that has the word Coca-Cola is like our master brand signature. And the top part that differentiates the different product of Coca-Cola signifies or synonymous with the club, Rotary clubs around the world, where each one of us provides different kind of services to cater for the needs of the communities. But we are a member of Rotary International. I give you another example. These red cans of Coca-Cola is just like the word Rotary and the wheel. But with the different logos of each club, that differentiate us because we are catering for the different needs of the community, although we are a member of Rotary International. So if every Rotarian has to be conscious with our branding, including the use of consistent logo, then we must make sure we do something, because this is very important, right? And it cannot happen overnight. So every Rotarian has to be conscious with our branding, including the use of consistent logo. Let me go back by sharing with you that in 2015, Rotary International carried out a survey with 1 million respondents across 15 countries. And what was the outcome of that survey? Well, our global awareness is outstanding. 3 out of 4 people surveyed were aware about Rotary, and we are in the top 3 in terms of awareness. But only 35% of them says that Rotary is an organization for people like them. So why? Because we have done so much good in the community. Well, it is because most had only a vague idea of exactly how we do good in the world. They know we are people of good character. We do good in the world, but they do not know how we do good exactly in the world. And there was another survey in 2018 and 2019, a global omnibus survey in 2018 indicated that people thought that we are just a group of people, of old people doing service, and we are very elite and mostly men. We are volunteers. But when we conducted, or RI conducted, this omnibus survey in the US in 2019, only slightly more than 50% have heard about Rotary. So we have not done that well, actually. So where are we now? We are only at the awareness step. But we have still got a long way to go in going from beyond just being aware. So how to make our brand stronger? We have to help our audiences understand what Rotary means. And how do we do that? We get them to be interested and get them to participate in our project so that they will be able to know what it is like to be doing activities with a Rotary Club and the kind of good that we do in the club, in the community, and as well as being involved with Rotarians, so that they can become an advocacy of Rotary. Elon Musk, the CEO of Tesla Motor, says that brand is just a perception, and perception will match reality over time. So it is very important that at this particular stage, we must all make an effort to ensure that we create good positive perception of the public about us. And that the next opportunity that when this public get to be involved in our club project and our club activities, that is when they will match their perception against the reality in the activities that they join with all of us. But having said that, you know, every year we have challenges. We have challenges in everything, including public image, Rotary public image in specific. Why? Because every year, leadership changes from 1st of July, from top to the lowest level. And at the club level, you will take over as club president on the 1st of July next year. And because of the change of leadership, change of people, we got to start all over again. And therefore, continuity is very, very important. Because every year after we have tried to impart upon knowledge of public image, new set of officers come in and they are back in doing club logo manually and by using either graphic artists or using computer graphic software instead of going into the Rotary Brand Center. So the first step is to make sure you visit and get familiar with the contents of the Rotary Brand Center as soon as possible, and not wait until next year when your PETS and DISTAS or DTA has already started, because this is the time when you still have a little bit of time to go around and experience yourself. So this is how it looks like. This is what the Brand Center looks like. For those of you who have not been into the Brand Center, I have a couple of slides from here that run through very quickly about having screenshots of what it looks like. So just bear with me for those of you who are already very familiar. So you log into your My Rotary, you log in with your email address as your username and password. And then once you log in, you'll be able to know, and your name will be shown on the top right of the screen. And here you will be able to see manage and move your cursor to manage, and then you'll be able to see under the red box many different options. But in specific, I would like you to look at the Brand Center, and under Brand Center, you have quite a number of options here. And I would like you to click the brand center, and these are the options that you have, and take time to explore each of these. So when I click logo, this is what happened. This is what the screen looks like. And I want to draw your particular attention to this particular option on the word template, because that is where you need to choose or select to create club logo. So once you click that option template, you are brought into this particular screen where it says club logo template. Click here, and this is what you will see in the next screen. Click the word create, and this is the template for you to be able to create either your club template, whether your district template or zone template, whether it is for a Rotary club, whether it is for a Rotary club. And on the top right here, you have 4 options. All right, you have, when you click Rotary, you can choose whether you want to create a Rotary logo, a Rotaract logo, or an Interact logo. Next, under logo, you can have normal or simplified logo. And I will explain to you what is the difference between the two later on. And you can choose the color. You have different colors, 4 colors, and the purpose is for you to be able to use the right color against the right background so that you have the full contrast and alignment of the logo. You have 3 different alignments. So here, when you click to type in your club name on the right-hand side under item 1, this is what happened. It will appear in item number 2, the name of your club. And I'm using my club name as an example. And then you click save, and then you put in the file name, and then you can download either a PNG, JPEG, or PDF, but I will normally work under PNG or a PDF because the JPEG resolution decreases every time when you copy and save. Now, the PNG is a transparent logo, so it doesn't have the white background. So this is an ideal file format that I normally use. And then you can click this box to download the file from your computer, and then click this logo to access all the images that you have actually created, and it will bring you to this particular screen. Now, this screen shows that these are all the logos that I have created in my account, and I wanted to click this particular, to download this particular file. So I downloaded it, and back to this alignment. The 3 alignments are on the left, number 1, where the word Club of Kuching Central is at the bottom of the word Rotary. And then number 2 is where Club of Kuching Central is at the top. And number 3 is where the club and the word, the name of your club are separated. Option 3 is good if you have long club name. And these are the different kind of colors that you have, the 4 different kind of colors to choose. All right. Now, I mentioned just now about normal or simplified logo. What is the difference? Now, the difference is that in simplified logo, right, the word Rotary International in the wheel is missing. When do we do this? Well, we do this if the wheel size is less than 1.25 centimeter, right? That means, or you have a very tight space, or when you want to do embroidery of this logo on your t-shirt or your garment, all right? And here, do I have somebody raising a hand there? Is it PE Marcel? PE Marcel, did you raise up your hand? No? Okay, I'll proceed. And the other part is you got to be aware that there are certain logo where the tools does not provide template. One example is this, where you have the team presidential team logo in a lockup, right? The lockup logo is the one with the line in between the team logo and as well as the wheel of the Rotary. And this is not available in the template, so you need to create it manually, right? And it is also not available if you want to create a wheel that is in gold and the wordings are in white. So what do? Write to graphicdesign@rotary.org and ask them for assistance, and they will be able to help you to do this logo for your requirements. Now, I did mention slightly about logo lockup. So this is about logo lockup. you click this particular template icon, and this is what it means by logo lookup. There is a line separating the word "the gift of sight charity run" and your club logo. When do we use this? We use this either for strategic, or when I say strategic, one example is the presidential team, right? That is strategic, and you can put it on the right. Or you can have an event name, or you can have the partner organization logo. Say, for instance, you are having a collaboration with the Bank of Philippines. So you can put in the logo of the Bank of Philippines and the name of the bank on the right-hand side instead of the gift of sight charity run. So that is one example. You cannot put in your legacy club logo on the right. So these are some of the basic ruling. Like any multinational organizations, logo colors are very, very sensitive, and we need to put a lot of attention to make sure that we are achieving consistency. So when you do this lockup logo manually, a few things that I would like to draw to your attention. You see the gap. Let me just see whether I can change my highlight here. All right. The line, the perpendicular line, the distance between this line and the wheel is actually equal to Y. And this Y, what is Y? Y is actually the alphabet O in the word Rotary here. So you must make sure that the width of this is actually in between the wheel and the perpendicular line. Similarly, the same width is from the line to the partner's logo, the partner's organization logo, or whatever wordings that you want to put over here. The other thing that you need to be aware of is this partner's logo, partner's organization logo, cannot be too big than the Rotary wheel. Why? Because if it is too big, right, then people may perceive it that this project or activity is run by your partner's organization and not by Rotary. So how big can it be? It can only be 1.5 times the size of the Rotary wheel, right? And sometimes some people created this line manually. No, use the logo lookup template to create it and put nothing in here, and you will be able to come up with this logo and the line, and then you insert your partner's organization logo manually on the right. Okay. Let me just, okay. All right, okay, now this is what we call the mark of excellence. As you can see, sorry, the master brand signature. And this master brand signature has got two versions. One is with the word Rotary International in the wheel, and the other is without. I've already mentioned to you, if anything smaller than 1.25 centimeter, then you avoid having the wordings Rotary International inside the wheel. Now, can the district or your club use this logo? The answer is no. Why? Because this logo is strictly used only for event or activities organized by Rotary International. So if it is organized by your district or by your club, it should have your club or district master brand signature. Like this, right? This is your district master brand signature, and this is the zone master brand signature, right? So this is something that many Rotarians are not aware about. With that, I hope that you will have a quick overview and understanding of the intricacies when you actually make logos of Rotary. So when we are ready to use consistent logo, it is now time for us to have brand ambassador. So let me bring you to this brand ambassador. In N-Polio, we have goodwill ambassadors, where we have a lot of celebrities, the religious leader, right? Actresses, you name it, even golfers, right? And they are actually our N-Polio goodwill ambassador. And in the Philippines, we also have, or you have your N-Polio goodwill ambassadors in the Philippines. Now, I would like to ask you a question. Get ready to type into the Zoom chat box. Which airlines in our neighboring country does not use celebrities as their brand ambassador? Any takers? Which airline? Feel free to type into the Zoom chat box. Don't think too hard. Yes, somebody coming there. Japan, Singapore, Thai Airways. All right, Singapore Airlines. I got 2 of Singapore Airlines there. Emirates. I'm talking about nearer to our region. Huh? So Emirates is too far away. Okay, let's have a look. Singapore Airlines. Singapore Airlines is using their in-flight Singapore girls as their brand ambassador, where they have given you the kind of perception that once you boarded their flight, you will be treated like a VIP, a very important person. And similarly in Rotary, we can have our own brand ambassador. Who could be the brand ambassador of Rotary in our organization? Please feel free to type in the Zoom chat box. Who could be the Rotary brand ambassador for our clubs, for your club? Any takers? Who can be the brand ambassador of Rotary? Yeah, a lot of people say the members themselves, the DG, the president, all members. Great. Actually, every one of us. But you as the incoming club president will have more focus because you will be in the spotlight. So it is very, very important that you need to carry the brand carefully. And you got to make sure that images that you produce in the Facebook social media and your newsletter will portray the kind of image that is brand compliant, because you are the #1 brand ambassador as the club president in your community. So consistent branding must be done regularly and by every Rotarian in the community and in the world, is irrespective of which club we belong to. Okay, so Walt Disney former CEO Michael Eisner said that a brand is a living entity, and the process of building brand is similar to raising kids. So it is not going to happen overnight where people will be able to recognize that particular brand of ours. We have our core values that we must continuously and consistently display and exercise it in our day-to-day activities. And therefore, as I mentioned, that is the value of our brand. And we must show it so that people will be able to say about us, about our brand consistently, whether they are with us or without us. Because Jeff Bezos says that, branding is what people say about you when you are not in the room. We want them to be able to say the same thing, whether you are in the room or not. Because no one is going to understand your Rotary brand better than you. So now, let me just ask you some question, quiz time, and please feel free to type into the Zoom chat box for the answer. Tell me which of this logo can be used. Which one will you use? 1 or 2? Just type 1 or 2. Okay, a lot of you say so far 2. This is for use in your club, huh? Or in your district. Okay, looks like all of you are already knowledgeable in these Rotary brand guidelines. Okay, thank you so much for your answer. Let's have a look of what the answer is. You are right. It is 2 and not 1. As I mentioned just now, that Rotary logo with the word Rotary and the wheel only is specifically to be used by RI, right? So for activities that are organized by your club or your district, you must use item 2, option 2, all right? So let's look at the next one. How about this? Which club logo is the correct logo that is fully Rotary Bran compliant? Which of these two? Okay, somebody say one, somebody say none, two, none. I got 2% saying none, 3% saying none. I got 4. Wow. Okay, let's have a look. Actually, none. Now, some of you may be confused, and I don't blame you, because what happened is that when Rotary International initially provided the template in the brand center, we were able to produce this kind of club logo. But at the end of last year, they removed that option in the template. And now they although they did not announce it, but after I contacted them, they told me that it is no longer an option and we are not allowed to use this particular format. All right. So take note of that. Club logo, district logo cannot be used in this format. All right, next. Which of these logo non-Rotary Bran compliant? Yeah, 5 logos there. I did not want to use any one of your club's logo here because I did not want to make offense to anyone. So I decided to use a number of clubs and districts that I know pretty well, and I've got the permission from them to do this. So somebody says none, some says 3, 1, and 5. None, none are compliant. Let's have a look. Thanks for your answer. Let's have a look. All are actually correct. Okay. Which of these logo that are non-Rotary Bran compliant? Right? All of them are actually correct. Sorry. Yeah, they are correct. They are brand compliant. Now, how about this? A lot of us used to make Rotary t-shirts. Which of these pair of t-shirts will sorry, I couldn't see this. Hold on, the wordings. Which of these pair of t-shirts bear the brand compliant logo? A lot of you are saying number 2. Remember, the one on the left has the Mark of Excellence logo. Let's have a look at the answer. Number 2 is the correct answer. All right. The other ruling or guideline that I did not stipulate to you earlier on is that whenever you use this Mark of Excellence logo, you must use the master brand signature, either of your district or your club. You cannot use this big Rotary logo on its own. All right. So that is the ruling. So take note of that. So like this. So the Mark of Excellence is at the back. The master brand signature is at the front. Okay. Take note of that, because you do not be wanting to be wearing a t-shirt with the non-brand compliant logos on your t-shirt and you are moving around. Then you become the walking brand ambassador, right? Okay, how about this? We have just celebrated the World Polio Day on the 24th of October. Are they brand compliant logos, both of them? Yes or no? One is with the Rotary logo, one is without the Rotary logo. Please indicate left or right. Or I'm talking about both of them. Yeah, are they brand compliant? So yes or no? So yes, both. Yeah, so correct. The answer is yes, both of them are actually brand compliant. Thank you for attempting to answer the question. These are both brand compliant. Now, what is the difference between these two? All right. You can use the logo, the EPN logo on the right on its own. But if you were to use the logo on the left, you must use it with the master brand signature of your club or with your district. Why? Because this logo has no Rotary logo. So by using it on its own, people may not recognize you as being part of Rotary. All right. Whereas this logo has the rotary wheel. So by wearing it on your t-shirt with this logo, people will be able to recognize it. But you know what? I just made a pair of t-shirts with both, and I found that if you were to embroider this particular, what do you call it, logo, the word Rotary International is not that legible. Again, it depends on the size of the logo. But if you're trying to make a logo that is not big enough, then I suggest you should opt for this logo on the left. All right? Now, how about this? Which of these lockup logo is brand compliant?
Fully big.
One or two? This is about the lockup logo, which is brand compliant. I have just given you the cue just now. Okay, correct. It is actually number one. Number one is brand compliant. As I mentioned to you earlier on just now, right? Sorry. Let me just close the window. Okay, as I mentioned to you just now earlier on, if you want to use this logo without the N Polio logo, without the Rotary wheel, you must use it together with the Rotary Club logo. Not in this particular format. You can have it without the lockup in a separate, maybe this is at the front and one is at the back of your t-shirt. So that's fine, right? But you should not use the N Polio logo with the wheel and in a lockup with the Rotary logo, okay? Because it's double. Next, now, how about this? Who can tell me about this? What happened? Right. Which of this lockup logo is brand compliant? One or two? Okay. So everybody says one so far, and some says two. Okay, let's have a look at the answer. The answer is two. So if you are using the N Polio logo in black and white, please use the master brand in black and white, right? You do not use the black and white N Polio logo with the colored master brand signature. So take note of that, right? So if you are going to use the colored master brand signature, please use the red colored N Polio logo. Now, how about this? Can anybody tell me what logos are these? Can you type in the word area of focus? Okay. Joyce Britton says area of focus. Yes. Neris as well. Okay. Milagros as well. Nova as well. Everybody says area of focus. Correct. That is actually the new logo for the 7th area of focus. All right. So you must use this logo and nothing else. Of course, there are several options which we can look at later on. Now, question 2. Are these logos brand compliant? Yes or no? Yes. Okay. Answers are coming in. Thank you. Yes, they are actually brand compliant. Okay. So you can see the different format. On the left, you only see the picture of the bird and you know the symbol, but without the wordings. And at the center top, you have the wordings for each one of the 7 area of focus with the Rotary's area of focus at the center. And the third option is only with the Rotary's area of focus written at the center, but nothing that name the 7 area of focus. But they are all brand compliant. Now, how about this? Are these logos brand compliant in this manner? Vertical as well as horizontal? Yes. Thank you. Yes, the answer is yes. Thank you. Well, all of you are very knowledgeable. I'm glad to hear this and to see all of you are responding pretty well. So let me ask you this question. Is this logo brand compliant? Okay. A few answers are coming in already. Somebody says no. Yeah, most of you say yes. Let's have a look at the answer. Okay, the answer is yes. Yes, it is actually brand compliant. Why? Because this is a lock-up logo of the club, and that the club is having this charity run, and the name of the run is the Gift of Sight Charity Run. So it is a name of an event. And this is in line with the guideline by Rotary International Brand Center. You can have the name of an event on the right-hand side, or you can have the name of a partner organization that you are collaborating with, or the logo of your partner organizations. All right? Or it can be strategy if it is something to do with like the presidential team. Okay, the key messages so far that I would like to emphasize to you. Number one, we have a brand. And what is our brand? Our core values are our assets in our brand. And what are those core values? We have leadership, we have service, we have many others. They are altogether 5. I can't remember offhand, right? But there are 5 of them, and they are our core values, and we must show it and practice it to be consistent. Therefore, if we have a brand, we need to have a logo to signify it. But if we have a logo, then we must be consistent in the logo that we use, not only within our local community, but as well as worldwide. Because as an example, if clubs in your area is using different kind of logos, what will be the impact of the nearby cities or towns to you, right, that are using brand compliant logos? They may be confused, right? And if the whole of the Philippine Rotary clubs are using brand compliant logos, but those in Singapore are not, and now with social media where we can see inter-countries, inter-regions, it could be very confusing. Now, the other thing that you must remember is that the Rotary logo has evolved over the years. Why can't the legacy club logo evolve too? I know a lot of clubs still retaining the club legacy logo because they have a lot of emotional attachment to it. But let me ask you this question. Does that matter with the people in your community? Is there a strategic direction for you to slowly fade away and embrace the new brand compliant logo? Remember also, always that you are the most valuable brand ambassador, especially if you are the club president, because you are in the spotlight. Imagine you are delivering a speech on the rostrum, on a pedestal, with a backdrop that shows the wrong club logo. And the next thing you know is that your picture appears in the local newspapers, and that wrong logo is spread all over the community. And this may have an impact because your potential members, your potential donors, your potential volunteers may question the entity that you are with. And we just do not want them to have doubts in your organization or in your club. Also remember, as a club president, what you say, what you write, and what you do will impact everybody's perception of Rotary. When I say everybody, this includes even your members. Especially why? Because you have a leadership position in Rotary. So you must take care. We must take care about this. In closing, I would like to say that, although we talk about a lot about logo, but a brand is not just a logo, a website, or your business card, or your Rotary card. It is an experience. That's why I emphasize that we must create the opportunity for members of the community to get involved in your club activity. Well, having said that, when you design your club logo or your banners, whatever it is, make sure that they are actually looked at from all angles. This particular logo of Starbucks that is being placed on a van, whoever thought that when you open up the door of the van, it actually gives the wrong message. And obviously, we do not want that to happen in any of the Rotary organizations. Now, this is the public image Rotary group that I have set up. Today, I think about 800 over members now. And feel free to join. You can Google and then apply to become a member of the club, member of the group, and answer some questions, and I'll be able to give the approval for you to join. This is so that everybody be able to learn and uplift the image and the branding of Rotary in the community. And with that, I want to thank you for your valuable efforts in always promoting Rotary in your community and in the world. And I wish you all the best and a fulfilling year ahead. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Gov. Andre, for your very educational and eye-opening inputs. We were supposed to have a question and answer, but you already provided us with the questions and the answers. So we shall proceed with the presentation of your certificate, Gov. Andre.